at this point, when you find out she's pregnant, your ex has been informed. Do you think you're the father at this point?
For his first child, his son, Terry Michelle Rayford, and the name needs to be changed to Freeman. You need to grow up and be a man.
You never told her you were married, Mr.
Never
Houston?
has he ever even brought up the fact that he had children. 5.
Oh.
No, because she was married.
What?
Your Honor, I was in the middle of a divorce. I had been separated from my husband for over a year.
This woman dictates to you about being a father, Your Honor. You like to clown? Your son will love it. He loves to laugh and play. Play with him and not me.
He took you home to his house. Where was his wife and his kid?
I went through the house. I'm looking under bed sheets. I want to see if there's some stilettos or some thongs under here. I want to make sure. I want to be sure. And when I went through all that stuff, there was no sign of no women or no children in that home.
Guess what kicks off? Miss Jackson starts swinging by, saying Mr. Figures was a charming guy who charmed her right out of her socks and left her with a baby bump. She's super determined to show he's really Daniil's dad. Oh boy, you won't believe what's coming next.
Miss Jackson, you say Mr. Figures was a smooth-talking Casanova who swept you off your feet and out of your clothes and then left you with a baby. You claim Mr. Figures disappeared 20 years ago, and now you want to prove that he is definitely your son, Daniil's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on to your popcorn. Miss Jackson dives into how she met Mr. Figures, talking about how he knocked her off her feet, but insists it wasn't love, just wowza. She talks about his dreamy, long, curly hair and how he looks so cool. The plot thickens, and you just gotta see what happens after this.
I met him like on maybe a Friday or Saturday night. When I saw him, the long, curly black hair, he was just I was stunned. He was gorgeous. He was gorgeous.
Mr. Figures.
Yes.
It sounds like love at first sight.
It was infatuation. I was never in love with him.
You weren't?
No.
So it was just infatuation?
Yes.
Here's a jaw dropper. Jackson spills the beans about finding out she was expecting and not just a stomach bug. Mr. Figures agrees they were an item, but isn't buying the whole dad story because Jackson had another guy on the side. Strap in. The ride's about to get bumpier.
When I found out, I thought I had a stomach virus or something. You know what I'm saying? They gave me a pregnancy test. I'm stunned. I'm actually in shock. I don't have my family. So I'm really trying to
But she also had
focus
another
on
guy that she was dealing with at the same time. Why you coming to me telling me?
Dealing with someone, meaning he had my back. Don't meaning we having sex.
Burden tissues ready? Daniil talks about the tough times growing up without a dad and all the adventures he and his mom went through to find Mr. Figures. This part tugs at the heartstrings big time. Just wait, the emotional whirlwind isn't over yet.
How was it growing up without a dad and having to watch your mother, help your mother, try to find the man she believes is your father? How has this affected you, young man?
We had hard times, rough times. We've been through thick and thin. And she always told me don't run from your problems, so I don't run from my problems. I stick with her through thick and thin.
Things are heating up now. Jackson shares how scary it is thinking about what would happen to Daniil without a dad around, especially since she's not feeling great. This talk is all about sticking together. Hang tight because there's more drama ahead that you don't want to miss.
I have other children, and they dad come into their life. They come in, they take them places, they go here. Always been me and him. He don't have nobody. I'm all he has, and he is all I have. What if I die tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Where's he gonna go? My other kids can go somewhere. Where's he gonna go? Why is it taking the state of Georgia 20 years to even swap his mouth?
The courtroom is buzzing. Daniil lets out all his feelings about not wanting to chase after a dad anymore. He's pretty fed up and just wants some peace. But hold your horses, because what comes next is a total stunner.
You have a right to have that relationship.
I don't want that right.
In due time.
My mind's already set. I'm done.
I know.
This is just a baby book that...
Listen, babe, you don't have to decide today, but I want you to know that you do have it.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I've been like this. We don't talk about this at all in my house. That's why I don't talk about it. I don't think about it.
Here comes the big moment.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Figures, you are not the father.
Whoa, things just got real. Mr. Coleman kicks things off with a biggie. He doubts his wife big time and thinks their kid might not be his. He's talking about maybe calling it quits if the baby turns out to be someone else's. Yikes, right? Buckle up, because the ride's just starting.
Mr. Coleman, you say your 7-year marriage on the rocks because you claim to have proof your wife cheated and is pregnant by another man.
Your Honor.
You say you will ask for a divorce when the results prove your case.
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on to your popcorn. Here comes a backstory splash. crash. They dive into their messy past with addiction and how they first met. Mr. Coleman tells a wild tale about helping his then pregnant wife kick her habit by keeping her safe and drug-free. It's a crazy love story for sure. You won't believe what's coming next.
We met about 6 years ago. She was doing what she was doing. I was doing what I was doing. And
what were you all doing?
we was in addiction. She was like 3-4 months pregnant at that time, and she had a doctor appointment coming up, you know what I'm saying? I could see where she was a little bit distraught, because she said if she go back and the tests, those that she's been using, they're gonna take her baby from her.
Quiet in the court, Mr. Coleman's about to drop some truth. He got clean first and has been trying to help his wife do the same. It's super tough with all the trust issues and addiction shadows creeping around. Things are about to get even juicier, so stick around.
I had to seek treatment, did that, and at the time I was still in contact with the kids, and they were still asking about their mama. We need to see mama. Really not a good time, but they was crying for her, so I seen she wanted help, but didn't really know how to ask for it, so I asked when you ever needed help, you know what I'm saying, just call me, you know what I'm saying? So she ended up calling me, and I took her to treatment.
Boom, plot twist. Mr. Coleman finds out his wife is pregnant and, wait for it, also got an STD. That's a double whammy that cranks up his doubt to mega high levels about who the daddy is. Oh boy, this is getting good. What will happen next?
And the STD, you know what I'm saying, that's a real big thing. That was a head knocker. Right?
Hold on, I want to understand that. You find out Miss Coleman is pregnant, your wife.
The STD at the same time.
Also find out she contracted an STD.
Yes.
No.
Is that true, Miss Coleman?
No, Your Honor. I was on the streets. I was ripping and running. I was infidelity. I was very promiscuous.
All right, grab your tissues. Things are about to get heavy. They chat about how their addiction battles aren't just messing with them, but the whole fam. It's super serious, and everyone's on edge. Guess what's up next? Gonna be a doozy.
Both of you have dealt with something very serious, which is addiction. And it's not a game. We know addiction affects not only the parties, but also their families and their children.
Yes.
Because of that, I wanted to call upon an expert that has a lot of experience in this particular subject area, and I'd like to get his input before we proceed.
Everyone's on the edge of their seats as the judge is about to spill the beans on the baby daddy drama. It's the moment of truth. Will Mr. Coleman be the dad or not? The suspense is nuts. Get ready for some major feels.
In the case of Coleman versus Coleman, when it comes to the child that Mrs. Coleman is currently carrying, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Coleman, you are the father.
Whoa, buckle up. Mr. Roll steps up saying Ms. Gadelian just has a big crush on him and that's why she's tagging him as the dad of her twins. He's like, no way, not me, and tries to shake off the claim like a dog shakes off water. Get ready, the next bit is a doozy.
Mr. Roll, you are here to prove you are not father of Miss Gadelian's twin daughters. You say she's infatuated with you and that's the reason she wants to pin her babies on you. Ms. Gadelian, you say there is no question Mr. Roll is the father of your twins. You say he left you with 2 babies and a broken heart.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hang on to your socks because they're about to get knocked off. Mr. Roll talks about how this whole daddy drama is messing with his life. He claims Ms. Gadelian is more clingy than a wet t-shirt, taking secret pics of him and creeping around his work. Drama alert, more wild stories coming up.
First, I want to say, Your Honor, she's obsessed with me.
Why?
She would take pictures of me. She would sit there, she'll walk past my job, staring at me. Then when me and my ex broke up, I seen this, like, numbers of pictures that I never seen before. I didn't even know it was being taken.
So wait, you said you saw pictures you never knew were being taken. Are you obsessed with him, Miss Gadelian?
No, Your Honor.
Can you believe this? Ms. Gadelian spills the tea on how they first got chatty. Mr. Roll was all flirty at work, and she wasn't shy either. They hit it off, chatted on Facebook, and then bam, she's at his house. But hold your horses. There's more to this soap opera.
How did this relationship start?
On breaks and stuff, I would go over to his job and get drinks or whatever. So, you know, he was flirting with me. I was flirting back. We started writing on Facebook and whatnot, you know, because I thought there was something going on. You know, we were flirting with each other all the time. After a while, he invited me over to his house.
Plot twist. Mr. Roll was actually dating someone else when he and Ms. Gadelian were hanging out. Oops, he didn't tell her until later, which is kind of like saying, surprise, I forgot to mention my other girlfriend. Wait till you hear what's next. It's a real cliffhanger.
So at this point, Mr. Roll, you're single.
No.
You're not.
No. When she sent me the message on Facebook, I had pictures of me and my ex together. We all would go trips, we do vacation. So she was well aware, we were able to find out where I was at, how to message me. She seen the pictures of me and my ex.
If you had a girlfriend at the time, how did you end up flirting and being in this full courtship thing with Miss Gadelian? Don't get quiet now.
Your Honor, he was cheating.
Okay, catch this. Mr. Roll admits he was flirting even though he had a girlfriend. He says it was all just friendly fun until it wasn't. Talk about a messy burger with extra sauce. And guess what? The mess is about to explode even more.
I didn't really feel like I was being flirtatious in the beginning because I was in a relationship with a girl. We was happy, but then as time went on my part, I just felt like our relationship was going downhill. That's when she hit me up on Facebook. It went on from there.
When we started talking, I thought there was a little, more going on, a relationship starting. And then until he told me that he had a girlfriend.
Hold the phone. Here comes the big bomb. Ms. Gadelian was pregnant. Mr. Roll freaked out like, nope, not happening. But hey, what did he expect, right? Now keep watching because you won't believe what she does next.
Miss Gadelian.
That was after I found out I was pregnant. I asked him, I said, what would you do if I was pregnant? And he said, it would ruin my life. I said, well, then never mind. He says, you're pregnant, aren't you? And I said, you know what, I am. Don't worry about it. It's not your baby.
The first day she told me she had to tell me something. I didn't find out. But I had to ask her like 2 or 3 days later what she wanted to tell me. That's when she told me she was pregnant.
Ms. Gadelian goes full detective mode and shows Mr. Roll's girlfriend all the texts and pics of their sneaky fling. Boom, his love life goes kaboom like a dropped pie. But stick around, the aftermath is even wilder.
I found his girlfriend. We talked on the phone and I told her that, I needed to tell her something very serious. I'm sorry that...
Well, at that point, you were filled with guilt.
Yes. She needed to know what was going on. He needed to step up to the plate and tell her, but he never was going to tell her.
I was going to tell her, but you just cannot force me to do something that I wasn't ready for.
Here comes the big showdown. Ms. Gadelian talks about having the twins, and Mr. Roll is still on the not my baby train. But there's another guy in the picture now. Yup, another twist. And just when you think it can't get crazier, it does.
At this point, when you find out she's pregnant, your ex has been informed. Do you think you're the father at this point?
No, because she was married.
What?
Your Honor, I was in the middle of a divorce. I had been separated from my husband for over a year.
Point is, she wasn't completely divorced, so she may have still been having sex with her husband.
And I was told she slept with someone else, so like, in my mind, I'm sitting there like, it can't be mine.
All right, everyone, here's the grand finale. The DNA results are, and guess what?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Roll, you are their father.
The case Rayford vs. Freeman kicks off with Judge Lake introducing a wild story about an 8-month-old baby named Terry caught up in a crazy love triangle drama. You're gonna want to stick around because this is just the start of the soap opera.
Ms. Rayford, you say Mr. Freeman's inability to be honest has landed you smack in the middle of a love triangle that produced your 8-month-old son, Terry, whom he now denies.
Whoa, did that just happen? Ms. Rayford spills the tea about Mr. Freeman ditching her and the baby after making big promises, only to scoot back to his fiancée and pretend like nothing happened. The roller coaster is just taking off.
You say that after begging you to have his child, Mr. Freeman abruptly left your relationship, returned to his fiancée, and started denying your baby.
You thought that was wild? Ms. Rayford calls Mr. Freeman a deadbeat dad who hasn't lifted a finger for baby Terry, cranking up the drama meter in this courtroom showdown. Just wait till you hear what's next.
Mr. Freeman hasn't done nothing. He has been a deadbeat. He refused to step up to the plate ever since he got with this Miss Triplet.
Hold on, first of all, Chief. All right, I'm awake now. That erupted from 0 to 100 in less than 1 second.
Wow. Just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, the courtroom turns into a hot pot of yelling and eye-rolling as everyone gets their 2 cents in, making this showdown messier than a food fight. And guess what? It's about to get even messier.
For his first child, his son, Terry Michelle Rayford, and the name needs to be changed to Freeman. You need to grow up and be a man. This woman dictates to you about being a father. Your Honor. You like to clown? Your son will love it. He loves to laugh and play. Play with him and not me.
Hang on tight. Here comes a twist. Judge Lake tries to cool things down and feels for Ms. Rayford's frustration, showing us why she's the boss and keeping the peace while digging for the truth about baby Terry's daddy. Things are about to get even juicier.
I want to hear from Mr. Freeman because Ms. Rayford has made some very strong accusations about your being irresponsible to this child. Is this because you do not believe Terry is your biological son?
I don't believe he's my son. I tried multiple multiple times to come to Trina's house and deliver stuff. I brought things for the child, you know what I'm saying? And she's neglecting me, told me I don't need.
Are you catching this? Ms. Rayford and Ms. Triplett go head-to-head over whether Mr. Freeman brought diapers or not, turning the courtroom into a gossip-filled reality show. You won't believe what flies next.
Are you referring to when you brought that dresser thing?
Nah, he referring to the stuff that he bought with Pampers, clothes, and stuff like that. Girl, stop playing.
So you know every move that man make, huh?
Nope, I thought he made a wrong move when he went over there with you.
Hold on.
Oh, you jealous. You wish that was your son, huh?
How can I be
you wish
jealous?
that was your son, huh? You
Miss
remember them tears you cried?
Miss Rayford.
Ready for a curveball? Mr. Freeman drops a bomb by saying he's here to prove he's not the baby daddy because he thinks their fling shouldn't cost him a lifetime of diaper duty. Keep your eyes peeled because there's more drama ahead.
I'm here today to prove that I'm not Trina's baby daddy. Me and Trina was together, it was only just a fling. Trina was still having sex with multiple guys. She's obsessed with me.
No, it's not true. We met in December. We met on a dating site.
A dating site.
And Miss Triplett, I'm gonna ask you while she's testifying, just keep your little chirp
Yes, ma'am,
quiet.
Your Honor.
Things are heating up. The tangled web of who was with whom and when gets stickier as they argue about secret pregnancies and mystery men. Stay tuned because this soap opera has more twists than a pretzel.
But Mr. Freeman, you said you didn't know anything about a pregnancy. So how could you tell Miss Triplett?
Because he was trying to keep it real with me because we was trying to get our stuff back together. No.
Mr. Freeman, you were going back and forth between these two women all this time. No wonder you so quiet.
While I was gone to California, he was back fraternizing with her, gambling, hoarding, being irresponsible.
Oh boy, here we go. They dive into a heated debate about when exactly Terry might have been conceived, linking it to a super busy week full of birthday bashes and romantic sparks. The big reveal is just moments away, so don't move a muscle.
Puts the window of conception at the very week that you say you all were extremely sexually active because it was your birthday, his birthday, and Valentine's Day fell all in.
Yeah, that's why I say it's not an issue of paternity because he may lie, she lie, but
And
that
you
ain't lying.
lying, too.
That ain't lying. The
How bad is that?
DNA test ain't lying. Everything matches up to what I'm saying.
Can you handle the truth?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Freeman, you are the father.
Whoa, what's happening here? Ms. Herman opens the court session by claiming Mr. Houston is the dad of her 2-year-old son, Corey. She thinks Mr. Houston tricked her because he was secretly living 2 lives. Just wait, it gets wilder.
Ms. Herman, you are here to prove that Mr. Houston is the biological father of your 2-year-old son, Corey. You contend the defendant duped you and was living a double life.
Yikes, did she just say that? The audience can't believe it when Ms. Herman says Mr. Houston was married with kids while dating her. She snooped around like a detective after getting a weird feeling and found out his secrets on Facebook. Stick around, it's about to get juicier.
Mr. Houston was a liar. He was a cheater. He was also a womanizer. And during the time after we had sex, not too long after, I found out he had a wife and children.
Really?
Yes.
How did you find that out?
I like to call this the investigadget stage. That's what I do.
Investigadget?
Investigadget. When my woman intuition hit, that's what I do. I investigate.
Hold up, it's confrontation time. Ms. Herman calls out Mr. Houston for hiding his marriage and kids. Mr. Houston is all, that's none of your beeswax, and the audience is totally shocked. You gotta see what's next.
You never told her you were married, Mr.
Never
Houston?
has he ever even brought up the fact that he had children. 5.
Oh.
I met her as a gentleman. Before anything, before my father, before my dad, before I'm a liar, before I'm a cheater, before I'm any of these things at all. I'm a man first.
Well, you over here doing a Shakespearean play.
No way. Did that just happen? Ms. Herman tells us about the night she met Mr. Houston at a club and ended up at his house, which seemed totally kid and wife free. But there's more to the story, and it's coming up.
How did you meet Mr. Houston?
I met him at a club. He was very charming and appealing at the time, buying me shots of Patron. You know, that's an expensive drink.
When did you two become intimate?
That same night.
After the club?
He took me home to his house.
He took you home to his house. Where was his wife and his kid?
I went through the house. I'm looking under bed sheets. I want to see if there's some stilettos or some thongs under here. I want to make sure. I want to be sure.
Now the wife steps in from her own town. Ms. Houston shows up on video chat to spill some tea about finding out her hubby had a side chick who was also pregnant. Things are heating up. Don't go anywhere.
How did you find out about Miss Herman?
A message came in his phone and it said, when I have the baby, I want to move in with you. I'm looking like, who the hell is this and what is she talking about? You know, and I'm like, so somebody is pregnant by you? Like, you know, I'm trying to get answers and he like playing dumb, you know. Eventually, I end up calling the number and I talked to her.
Oh, you did? You had a conversation?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Houston tries to smooth things over, talking about his sad backstory and how he's trying to keep his dad's legacy alive by having more kids. But trust me, you'll want to hear how the judge handles this.
See, I'm in the business of making babies, I have every reason to extend my bloodline. Let me let you know, when I was 10 years old, I lost my superhero, my father, And once I seen my baby, it was really like a replacement because I could see all my dad's features in my child.
You are basically expressing that you experienced an emotional trauma, losing your father.
Are we there yet? The drama heats up as they talk about whether Mr. Houston has been a good dad to Corey. Ms. Herman says, no way, but Mr. Houston shows off some baby shoes he bought. What's the judge gonna say about all this? Stay tuned.
He doesn't do anything for Corey at all.
This woman's full of lies today. I don't know why.
Can you show you a receipt?
I made sure that I had his first pair of shoes. I got him some booties. I did everything that I was supposed to do as far as making sure he had car seats. I did all those things. Of course, she ain't gonna give me no credit today.
I'm not, because he came to the baby shower and he dropped off 1 pack of diapers.
That's not true. I didn't even go to the baby shower. See?
Get ready for the big boom. Judge Lake has the DNA test results, and guess what?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Houston, you are not the father.
Yes! Thank you, Jesus.
Ms. Wyatt throws a curveball, accusing her hubby, Mr. Roberts, of doubting whether he's the real daddy of their 1-year-old, London. She spills the beans that they rushed into marriage after just 2 months, and now he's playing the not my kid card, which she thinks is just to cover up his sneaky side. Let's see how he wiggles out of this one.
Ms. Wyatt, you claim that your husband, Mr. Roberts, is questioning paternity of your 1-year-old daughter, London, and it's driving a wedge into your marriage. You say that you got married after knowing each other for only 2 months, and your husband is denying the child only to hide his cheating ways.
Hold the phone, things are heating up. Mr. Roberts is scratching his head over being London's dad because he thinks Ms. Wyatt's ex is too cozy in the picture. He's miffed because every time she boots him out, she's on the phone calling her ex for backup. Stick around, it's about to get juicier.
Now, Mr. Roberts, you say that your uncertainty concerning Ms. Wyatt's daughter stems from the fact that her ex is still in her life. You claim that every time she kicks you out of the house, she calls for him to help, and you wonder what's going on between them. You both agree the marriage is heading south fast.
Whoa there, check this out. Ms. Wyatt is on the edge, saying their marriage is basically hanging by a thread. She's ticked off because Mr. Roberts won't acknowledge their daughter, and she's convinced he's just trying to hide his own naughty escapades. What's next? You won't believe it.
Our marriage is on the verge of divorce right now. First of all, he's denying our daughter. I think it's just to cover up the fact that he's, does a lot of cheating. Like, for instance, one time I went to the store, a neighbor, he's 17 years old, and he came to the car and was like, hey, Greg just got upset for nothing. He's just so insecure and so jealous.
Here's a doozy for you. A young neighbor dude says hi to Ms. Wyatt, and Mr. Roberts flips his lip. Just a friendly hey, and bam, Mr. Roberts gets all jealous. What's he so scared of? Well, keep watching, because it's about to get wild.
That is so wrong. Let me tell you something. This guy likes smoke, you feel me? What older woman let a young guy flirt with
He
them?
was speaking.
Knowing kids these days, you feel me?
Your Honor.
They don't respect marriage. They don't respect the elder.
But what husband is going to get upset because a 17-year-old boy is speaking? Like, are you serious? He's a neighbor.
Can you even handle this? They dive into how there's a whopping 10 years between Ms. Wyatt and Mr. Roberts. Yep, she's the older one. Maybe that's why they're on different pages. But wait, there's more coming right up, and it's a hoot.
Now, how old are you, Ms. Wyatt?
I'm 33.
And how old are you, Mr.
23.
Roberts? So there's an age difference between the two of you that's significant.
Yes.
Have you given him any reason to feel upset?
I never, ever gave him any reasons to
yes, she
feel
has.
like he should be insecure.
You've got to hear this. Mr. Roberts is convinced Ms. Wyatt is having a little too much fun with her exes during their timeouts. He's all, every time we fight, she's got her exes over. Ms. Wyatt fires back, saying she's just calling for help, not a party. Hang on, because it's about to get bumpier.
Every time, we went through a problem, she'll send me home. Next thing you know, the exes is at the house.
Your Honor,
Exes?
Your
More
Honor,
than one?
Your Honor,
Yes.
Your Honor, can I
Joel,
say,
it's
first of
two of
all,
them.
I've never ever just called the ex over just to call the ex over. He either leaves or I make him go home. Matter of fact, his mom and his sisters, they all watch him cheat on me.
This part's a tearjerker, folks. Ms. Wyatt had to dash to the hospital because of a pregnancy issue, and it ended sadly. But Mr. Roberts thinks she's using it as an excuse to hang with her ex. It's tough, really tough. But don't go anywhere, the drama's not done yet.
I went to the hospital I was pregnant and the baby died. Gave me something for pain and sent me home. So I was going to the person that was caring for me. He couldn't fix the tire. Family don't like us. So I had to call whoever else I had to call. I'm in Florida. My family is in California. California. It was two ex
Hold
because
up.
the one that could fix the tire
Listen,
didn't have
listen,
transportation.
listen.
The one that had the transportation brought him.
Get this, Mr. Roberts found Ms. Wyatt's dating profile online. Yep, she's out there saying she's single and ready to mingle or just hang out, whatever comes first. She admits she's fed up and looking for options. But hold your horses, the roller coaster ain't over.
This is a dating profile for Ms. Wyatt, and I'm reading a portion that says, I am currently not looking for a relationship, but if nature takes its place, then so be it.
Yeah, I got into a marriage just after 2 months of us. At the same time, it's going on 3 years, and he's not stepping up to the plate.
And here's the big reveal, folks. Drum roll.
When it comes to 1-year-old London, Mr. Roberts, you are her father.
Exactly. Exactly.